Right now at 11, a dramatic twist in a murder mystery that has captivated the nation. The man linked to the disappearance of 4 men confesses to killing them and then says this to Eyewitness News.
Anything to say, even a sympathy, even you're sorry? I'm sorry.
But with the confession and apology comes an even bigger question. What was the motive behind the crime? The admission from Cosmo DiNardo comes days after a massive search began on a Bucks County property. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Dean. A lawyer for Cosmo DiNardo says he admitted to being part of the murders of all 4 men and told investigators where to find them in a mass grave. So far, only one of the victims has been identified. That's 19-year-old Dean Finucciaro. The bodies were burned, according to the Associated Press, and we're told DiNardo will be spared the death penalty in exchange for his confession. We have live team coverage of tonight's major developments.
Alexandria Hoff spoke to a friend of one of the victims, but we begin with David Spunt. He's in Solebury Township tonight, and David, you came face to face with the confessed killer earlier this evening.
Yuki, I did. He just stared at me. I could tell he wanted to say something. I asked him what he wanted to say. He said 2 words, "I'm sorry." Well, those words don't resonate well. A lot of people say that is certainly not an excuse for what he admitted to doing. And tonight we are learning that there is a second accomplice involved, and authorities are saying this was all over drugs. Moments after his confession, Cosmo DiNardo faced cameras.
Cosmo, you admitted to killing 4 people. Why'd you do it? What do you have to say to these families, Cosmo? Anything to say, even a sympathy, even you're sorry? I'm sorry.
2 words, "I'm sorry." That's what DiNardo told me as authorities put him into a Bucks County sheriff's vehicle. His destination, behind bars for the rest of his life. He worked out a deal with prosecutors, according to his attorney, Paul Lang.
In exchange for that confession, Mr. DiNardo was promised by the district attorney that he will spare his life by not invoking the death penalty.
Lang said Cosmo DiNardo told authorities everything, including why he killed Jimmy Patrick, Thomas Mio, Mark Sturgis, and Dean Finucciaro. Dean's body was identified as part of remains found in a 12-foot hole on DiNardo's family property. A person with knowledge of the confession told the Associated Press DiNardo killed the men over marijuana, then burned their bodies at his family farm. That same person said a co-conspirator was involved with 3 of the murders. Defense attorney Lang would not say why DiNardo did it.
That'll come out in time. I don't think it's appropriate for me out of respect for the families.
Bucks County District Attorney Matt Weintraub and his team have been literally working around the clock. The district attorney has always said he would do whatever possible to give the families of the 4 men closure, though this is not the outcome he wanted. And tonight, authorities are not releasing any more information about that alleged co-conspirator. District Attorney Matt Weintraub here in Bucks County will hold a news conference here in Solebury Township with many more details, according to his office, tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Reporting live tonight in Solebury Township, Bucks County, David Spunt, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, David. And as authorities work to piece together this disturbing murder mystery, we're hearing from someone who worked with one of the victims. Also, a former FBI special agent is sharing with us the challenges of an investigation of this magnitude. Alexandria Hoff is in Solebury tonight with that part of our coverage. Alex.
Well, Yuki, the district attorney spoke at length about the time and emotion that these investigators have put into the search for men who they have never met before. Even at this hour, official vehicles moving in and out of that property site, proof that this hard work is hardly over. A confession does not draw close to this excavation. The intensive search for human remains will likely continue on the 90-acre Solebury Township property owned by the family of confessed killer Cosmo DiNardo.
They're down 12 foot deep in a hole that's getting deeper by the minute.
That is where the body of Dean Finucciaro was found, along with additional yet to be identified remains.
Obviously, someone who's digging that hole was digging with heavy equipment. I mean, he didn't in the span of time that has elapsed here, he didn't dig that hole by hand. Not up here, not in that kind of soil.
Former FBI Special Agent J.J. Claver says that while he believes heavy equipment was used to form the 12-foot grave, investigators must take a more delicate approach.
It has to be really almost by hand, everything. I mean, you can't just bring heavy equipment in and start digging.
He feels investigators will continue their efforts until all human remains in that grave are recovered, along with evidence that can corroborate what DiNardo has told police.
It's a crazy thing, man. I mean, I can't even believe it.
Daniel Balbuena worked with Dean Finucciaro.
The only reason I'm not crying right now is because if I cry, Dean is going to be mad at me saying, "Yo, don't cry for me, bro."
More friends have written notes of mourning on construction paper and are planning to give it to Finucciaro's family. Now back to that 12.5-foot grave. We are told that there is a possibility that it could have already been there on the property prior to the killings. Reporting live in Solebury Township, Alexandria Hoff, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.